Hi there, how are you today? I hope you're okay. Okay, couple of cards. Let's see what message I've got for you today. Message. I wish you were here with me. You're the one that got away. That's what I'm hearing. You're the one that got away. I sabotaged our connection because it was too intense. Now, you weren't too intense, okay? What I'm hearing is that they didn't have the emotional maturity to cope with it. I'm hearing avoidant. They have a problem when things get too tough. When the going gets tough, they disappear. I'm not saying they don't love you, okay? I do feel definitely you are the one that got away. But I'm going to have a look at what their intentions are, okay? What's actually just going to come in with this? Because, yeah, they do love you and they do miss you. And that's all really sweet. But I am really hearing to say that if they can't sustain it, it'll just cause more pain further down the line. So let's have a look. Okay, let's see what's going on. Firstly, what I'm going to really just have a look at the past with regards to them. What was the real reason that they felt it was too intense? So I'll get into this now. Just while I'm shuffling though, like I said, I hope you're okay. I hope you're doing well wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. Thank you for all your support, okay? I do read all my comments. I send you a massive hug. Big virtual hug. There we go. Well, it's not a massive hug, but it's a little hug. And just look after yourselves, okay? If you would like a reading, just click on the title of this video and the links are in the description box below. They go to the website, everything's on there. And check out the free relationship report as well. Okay, my guides, what was going on? Aha, yes, right. Basically, with these two cards in the past, I can see exactly what they were doing. They would almost say to you, right, say you got some plans. It's just a generality, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm hearing. So you've got plans. You're moving forward. Unbeknownst to you, they've actually got a different plan. So they say, for example, you're moving house, just an example. Okay, so you've gone to see the house, you're doing this, you're all about to sign, and then they pull out or they disappear or they change their mind. Okay, this is what was going on with them at some point in the past during your relationship. And instead of talking about it, instead of working through it, they couldn't cope with what was going on in their head, okay? And they just made it like a bid for freedom, basically. They felt that leaving your relationship was them taking control back. Also here in the past, specifically, somebody could have returned home. Now that could mean to where they were born, where their friends were, or something from the past, an area, like a physical location that played quite a big part in their life. Okay, so in a nutshell, it got too intense. You were planning something. You thought you were moving forward. They didn't talk about this with you particularly. They just pulled the plug on it. All right. So that's kind of clarifying the past, so you'll know if this is your reading. Let's have a look at what they're doing now. Let's have a look at their environment, please. Okay, at the moment they're keeping their head down. Okay. I will say though, with that Three of Wands in this card, Three of Wands in the reverse, I feel like they're repeating the same cycle. Okay, they're very stubborn. They have a tendency, and it's their coping mechanism. That's what I want you to know today. And sometimes there's nothing we can do or say to keep a relationship going or even to make it work, because if the other person isn't going to look in the mirror, as they say, because we've all got faults, every single one of us. We all have a way of reacting to situations. Now, your person, your ex, is very stubborn. And I just see them at the moment, whenever you see this video, when you ever pick this message up, that they're just repeating the same old cycle. They're keeping their head down. They are burying themselves in either work or their hobbies, whatever it is they like to do, all right? Almost as if they are pretending that you didn't exist, okay? But they're doing the same thing that they've always done and expecting a different outcome. Now, this energy's come in today because they do miss you. You are the one that got away, okay? But at the moment, as of when you see this, that's what's in that energy. But in the physical realm, like, you know, you can hear me tapping the table and you can see me sat here. What they're actually doing is ignoring it, okay? They're ignoring it. Yeah, they're keeping it a secret. They're keeping their feelings for you hidden. Anything else in their environment, please, that we need to know about? The Tower. Aha, the Tower. Okay. Their environment, where they're living and who they are with, is going to change. But I feel they are resisting it. And the Tower's come out in the reverse, okay? So I always find, even when the Tower's in reverse, eventually, right, that situation's going to crumble. But with this other card as well, I really do feel strongly that they are resisting change. And going back to what I said, they're just almost keeping their head down. You know, when you just really focus, I like focusing on something, chipping away at it, because they don't want to face what's out here, and they don't want to face their feelings, okay? So I'm going to have a look and see why they don't want to face their feelings, to see, you know, what is deeply within them that they wanted to sabotage your connection. You know, all they're doing now, right, is delaying the inevitable within their environment. That Tower's going to go, those dominoes are going to fall down, but by disassociating themselves, and, you know, it is classic energy when somebody buries themselves in their hobbies or their work so they don't have to feel, all right? They don't have to feel. Why are they doing this? Okay, Ten of Swords. At some point in their life, okay, before you, they've been in the Ten of Swords energy, and, you know, they've been defeated. Ten of Swords is really the end. And with the Ten of Swords, it's usually the end of a long, painful process, okay? Now, this has made them who they are. That is why, you know, I sabotaged our connection because it was too intense. Why did they do it? The Ten of Swords. Someone has betrayed them massively. They've had their heart broken, or there's some bitterness. And I feel when they hit problems of an emotional nature now, a relationship, instead of being able to open up about it, they can't cope. So they then resort to immersing themselves in something else and acting like somebody didn't even exist, okay? So that is the challenge here today. That has been the challenge within this relationship. That is the core reason that your ex does this. They also have an energy that if they can't process their thoughts, maybe they're a neurodivergent, I'm just hearing, that they will run, all right? They will run. But you are still that one that got away. So let us see what else is going on with them, and then I'm going to have a little look, see what the best possible outcome is. It's a shame. It's such a shame, you know, that they haven't really sort of processed any of this, because it's had a knock-on effect on your relationship. Okay, you know, they will just sever ties because they can't cope. Now, within their environment, they're unfazed. They are acting, and that's what I've got all along, unfazed, you see. They're acting like nothing's happened, so they're just chipping away at whatever they're doing, ignoring everything, okay? Bad habits. Someone in their environment has got bad habits. Maybe your ex had some bad habits. Maybe that was the way they silenced the demons in their head, okay? But there is an association of some form of addictions to something, and your light irritated their demons. We only just said the word demons. Yeah. You called them out, okay, quite rightly so. Now, we can all get called out, and because, you know, when you have empathy or you have an understanding, you say, oh gosh, I'm really sorry. Okay, but your light and your kindness and the fact that they knew they'd done wrong, okay, and I've seen it a lot when people know they've done wrong but they won't actually just put their hands up. A lot of the time they will just sabotage a relationship in whatever way they sabotaged it with you, okay, because if they didn't sabotage it, then they would have to face things that they've hidden, okay, that they've buried. They didn't want to do that, so they sabotaged your relationship and are still sitting in that energy of, I don't want to face this. I don't want to face it. But I promise you this, if this is your reading today, if any of this resonates with you, that tower, albeit slowly, is going to come down, okay? That change will happen within their environment. Whatever they've built their life on now, it is on quicksand, okay? It is on quicksand. So let me just see if they're going to actually come back in. Are they going to do anything? Maybe when the tower goes down. When the tower goes down, yeah. They are. Knight of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. They're going to come back in and offer you a whole fresh new start if you want it. Okay? The Ace of Pentacles is a great card to get in a reconciliation for me if you've been apart for a little while, okay? If you've only just separated, for me sometimes it can mean that it's just pillow talk, because Ace is on new beginnings. So, you know, I always prefer to say see the Ten of Pentacles, but the Ace of Pentacles, if you've been in separation for a while, is a positive. It means that you want to wipe the slate clean, start again. So prepare yourself, because this person will come back in, okay? Because like I got right at the beginning, you are the one that got away. Let me just get some advice for you though. Let me get some advice for you. Nine of Cups, put yourself first. Be selfish. The Nine of Cups is quite a selfish energy, you know. You just have to look at the image, right? But the Nine of Cups is about somebody having all their needs, their emotions and their wishes met. Put yourself first. If this is what you want, don't settle. Don't settle for anything less, okay? You only accept what meets your emotional needs. Often, too often in life, we give and we give and we give, and we hope that by meeting somebody else's emotional needs that they will reciprocate. Not this time. Spirit is saying most definitely make sure that you put your wishes and exactly what you want. Your dreams come first this time. Okay, nobody else's, doesn't matter who they are, your dreams, only you. Okay, very, very strong message. You've given a lot in the past. You've had a lot of battles with other people. Maybe you had competition, maybe there was a third party, but you've done all of that, okay? You need to put yourself first, because this is what I feel you should be having. I knew I'd see that card eventually, the 10 of Pentacles, okay? The Ace is beautiful. The Ace is beautiful, but I'm really being told to say, don't just settle for the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it is great, and it can mean lots of things. It can mean, you know, you come into a large sum of money, someone hands you something amazing on a plate. But sometimes in a reconciliation, they'll come back and they will offer you that great big thing, you know, on the plate, whatever it is. But with the Knight of Cups as well, sometimes the Knight of Cups can be an element of dreaminess, no substance behind it. Knight of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, brilliant. But I'm hearing, don't settle for any less than that. You want stability. You want the whole package, right? And you deserve it. And don't settle for anything less than that, okay? So take good care of yourself. Remember who you are, all right? Remember you're amazing, you're wonderful. You know, anyone is lucky to have you in their life. They're blessed to have you. Your presence in your ex's life is an honour. Now they know that. You are the one that got away, all right? But just make sure that you always from now on put your own needs first, okay? It's not selfish. It's not selfish at all, okay? Look after you. I love you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.